God of the universe, Allah. I give honor to his noble, illustrious prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to all those who are genuinely from their heart doing the work that's necessary to bring us towards total liberation. I give honor to all those. I give honor to everybody in this chat that chose, like you could have been doing something else, man. I'm telling you. I mean, Facebook be jumping. You know what I mean? I don't know. But, you know, people, they post all types of stuff. IG, your TV. But you chose to be with me tonight to listen to this presentation. So I honor you because I might say something and you might share something that can help I might say something that can help you out. You might share something to help me out and take us to the next level. So, family, let me tell you a little, let me give you a little something. So this week has been a tough week. It's been tough considering that we had the eclipse. Matter of fact, before we talk about before I go into that, let me see if my brother Gabriel Hernandez is available. Brother, are you there? Because I think he's going to be able to segue me in to what I need to talk about, because this brother got a wealth of information. There's not much that he can't discuss. I think he know a little bit about everything, because he's not much he can't discuss. Brother Gabriel Hernandez, are you there? There you go, brother Islam.
I'm here, brother. Islam.
Introduce yourself to the people, then I want to ask you a question real quick, and that's going to segue me into what I'm about to share with the people, our people.
Islam.
Oh,
my name is Gabriel Hernandez L. And, you know, I'm just here to support the brother. We're doing some works out here in the name of the prophet, name of the Moorish Temple of America, and I'm just doing my part.
Islam. So I was looking at a text. Let me see. Everybody want to look at the show. Let me let them know it's on my FB page. So the link to the show is on my Facebook page. But nevertheless, I think I maybe sent that text to the wrong person. Anyway, let me move forward. So, Brother Gabriel Hernandez, I need to ask you, brother, according to the ancients and modern people, and they said, bring in the astrology. Really, D, how you know I was going to start talking about some astrology? Man, the ethers are lining up. How she knew I was going to do that? Truth is but one. Brother, Allah is my witness. I'm ready to ask you, what does it mean to the ancients with when things have lined up with the eclipse? What does that say about human character, human behavior, and situations and civilizations as it relates to our people? Anything, generally speaking, I know generality is it, but not, you know what I'm talking about. Anything universal that we can look for, any problems, issues, or transition, or moving forward. What is it, brother?
In the general sense, when there's an eclipse, it can have many different meanings based on the culture. So different cultures practice different forms of astrology. You had your Native Americans, you had your Egyptians, the Greeks, and the Indians, the Chinese. Everybody had their own system. But pretty much universally, whenever an eclipse would happen, it was a symbol of a new dawning, something new was happening. But at the same time, for some people, it was also a foreboding type of issue where it looked like something could negatively be happening. So a lot of that just came on the understanding of those people at that time. But at the end of the day, the eclipse itself is simply, the solar eclipse specifically is when the moon passes between the earth and the sun and lines up perfectly, where it creates a shadow on the earth, if you just want to keep it real basic and simple. And in fact, I was actually born during the last major solar eclipse, 1979, February 26th. So although I've done quite a bit of research into it, I think what ends up happening, if you want to really know what's going on, you have to actually study what's going on that day in the sky. So it's not going to be really just based on an eclipse per se, but the eclipse, the alignment, and plus what else is going on in the various houses, and then you can make a better determination of what that actually means in reference to how it affects us on this planet.
All right. So the reason why I said that, brother, because I've noticed that there's been a great shift within the if you will, the Moorish Science Temple of America as it relates to those who are coming in. I'm noticing that a lot of people that are coming into the Moorish Science Temple of America, that they are ready. And when I say the Moorish Science Temple of America, I'm speaking to the ideal, because we know there's different portions or factions of the Moorish Science Temple of America as it relates to the organization. But the ideal of the Moorish Science Temple of America, as taught by the Prophet Noble Dry Ali, people are coming in, and they're coming in a little more sharper than, say, when I came in. You know what I mean? I talked to a brother today, and shout out to the brother. He online now, probably watching. I talked to a brother today, and he says that he's been studying for 4 months. And he said, well, but I need to study some more. I don't have enough information to explain it. I said, brother, you got just enough. You good. You good. So the thing is that what he was saying to me showed me that he is a little bit more advanced than when, say, I came in at 4 months. Maybe I was preoccupied with something. I don't know. But I noticed that people are coming in now. They're a little bit more sharper than, say, when I was coming in. I say that to say there's a transition. There's something going on. The Prophet Noble Dry Ali teaches us in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America that in every age, it's a cycle age. Everything happens in a cycle. And at every age, a door flies open to a new age. One door closed and one door open. And I come to see that is happening within the paradigm of the Moorish Science Temple of America. What you saying, brother Tahaka, man? I'm starting to notice that a lot of these guys, brothers that I had once admired and once that I looked up to and once that I considered to be the 5-star general of the Moorish Science Temple of America, now I don't see a lot of significance and a lot of things that are being taught. For instance, there was a time when I would watch Taj Tariq back in the day. Now, I did not agree with everything my brother Taj would say. And everybody know I don't agree with everything he says today. But I always thought he was one of those shining lights, that he was so convincing when he taught that I was like, man, this brother's frontline soldier. And I admired that about him. I didn't have to admire everything he taught, but I admired the courage that he brought to those that was listening and wanted to learn about the Moorish Science Temple of America. Even though I disagree with many of his points that he teach, I admire the courage. Also, when you look at like April the 10th, when I look at it like a brother Sharif, I look at a brother Sharif that a very charismatic brother, a very adept when it comes to the lesson. I'm talking about he can pick apart a lesson and somebody come at him, he can pick them apart and then pick the lesson back apart, put it back together and give it to him on a silver platter. And I admire these types of things. However, as time went on, I began to examine all the things that I've heard for my past 20 years. And once I begin to examine everything that I heard for the last 20 years, it becomes a lot of recycled information. And I'm not downing anybody. I'm just saying it became, to me, a lot of recycled information. Case in point, somebody seen this post, and the name of the show was, "Do you follow the prophet?" And the brother said, well, why you keep doing the same thing? And I said to the brother, that's how learning happened. So I'm not putting down recycled information or repetitious information. I'm not putting that down. My problem becomes this. When are we going to get to the building process? When are we going to get to the land buying process? When are we going to get to creating a business specifically connected to the Moorish Science Temple of America with a Moorish Science Temple of America brand? When are we going to get to that? You know, we have scholar after scholar, one that knows more science up and down, up and down, up and down. But I have yet to see one come on here, on YouTube, on Facebook, and have a concrete plan. Not saying that they don't exist, don't get me wrong, because I'm pretty sure some people ain't got time for this YouTube stuff. And they probably doing a marvelous job outside of the view of the camera. But for those on the camera is the ones that I'm speaking to. Which ones are really building something? And somebody put United States of America Republic. I want to know, where is the brick and mortar building for the United States of Republic? I'm not talking about paperwork. I'm not talking about a philosophical approach that's written on paper. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a real building where you go to Home Depot, you buy brick, you buy a concrete, you put it on the brick and you put it on the ground and you begin to build. This is what I'm talking about. Whether it be for a school, whether it be for a homeless shelter, whether it be for a business connected to the Moorish Temple of America. This is the type of building I'm talking about. What are you saying, Brother Tahaka Bay? What I'm saying is I see a lot of talking heads not building nothing. And not saying that they won't, but I'm just saying, if we not following the ways as laid down by the prophet, then what is our point? What is our point? We go over these lessons over and over and over and over. Then let me get straight to it. For that cause alone, I did not see, and I'm about to reveal it to you right now. For that cause alone, family, I want to let y'all know that your brother Tahaka Bay. Listen good. And this is not a shot. This is just how I move. This is your brother Tahaka Bay. Look at me. Your brother Tahaka Bay is no longer affiliated with the brothers or the organization known as Ali's Men. From this day forward, I want to let y'all know that I'm not associated or affiliated with the brothers from Ali's Men. Do we have a rift? Nah, it's not really a rift, if you will, because I don't believe that Moorish Americans can have a rift, in such a way that it can't be repaired. Do we have a difference of approach to the lessons of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and how we demonstrated? Quite possibly. I believe I need to be right in your face. I believe I need to be front line. I believe I need to be encouraging people to build something. You know what I'm saying? I believe that I need to be getting people with like minds to come with me and help me build. I don't believe that I need a philosopher. I don't need to philosophize our salvation or our liberation every time you see me. No, I need to get on this channel. I need to encourage you to help me build something. That's what this is all about. To stop those criticizing the holy and divine prophet. One. Number two, utilize this platform in this electrified age to build something. I don't care about, that's why in some of these songs I say, the super scholar holler. This era is for the workers. It's time for us to work for something. All of these, something, let me tell you something. I could be guilty of it too. You know, I could be guilty of it too, because I've been in the Moorish Temple of America for over 20 years. But I haven't been a part of the Moorish Temple of America for over 20 years. This is what I'm saying. I proclaimed my nationality 20 years ago. But due to the fact that I have went through different schools of thought, different sorts of teachers, different understandings of Moorish science. I never left Moorish Science Temple as it relates to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, but I did not get nothing done. I didn't get nothing done under these super scholars, these super leaders, these super Moorish Americans. Honor to the lessons that they gave me. And I'm utilizing them today. But we still have nothing. I still either going to have to homeschool my son, or like Gabriel Hernandez do, homeschool his son, or send him to public school. All that wealth of information, all of this political information, all of this law stuff, and we send our children to a European to be taught. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, get a good European education, I can use you. But that doesn't mean that we have to send our children off to get the primary information. And that's what most of us do. The point of the matter is this. There's not enough builders. There's a lot of talkers. There's a lot of people that can intellectualize more science. But when they go home, It's a whole nother party. It's a whole nother party. And so what I am going to do tonight, I am going to show the footprints of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And I want you to ask yourself, is those that you look up to, is those that you follow doing that? See, a lot of people are skipping past first grade of Moorish science and going straight into college, meaning that they can talk real good. But first grade, what about building something in your community? They talk good on a college platform. They talk good on a roster in front of thousands of people. But what about the people in your community? What about that? What about the temple in your community? What about the business connected to the temple? What about the houses connected to the temple? What about the people living together? What about all the stores, all the daycares, the schools? What about that? I'm attempting to build that. And I'm asking for all those who think their conditions can be better to assist me in that. I'm going to let my brother Gabriel Hernandez get a little bit, and then I'm going to go through some of these slides and show you in real time what more science is according to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. One thing I'm not going to do for you, I'm not going to interpret this. I'm just going to lay it out for you. I'm not going to interpret that this means that. Now, if I do say this means that, you will be, most likely, you're going to say, yep, that's what it means. That's what it means. So let my brother Hernandez L come in real quick. And then I want to show you what is being done today and what Prophet Noble Drew Ali did in a small 3-year span. Go ahead, brother Hernandez L.
Yeah, Islam, what you said was very important because that's really the missing key within the Moorish science temple, specifically in the Moorish movement in general, is the actual building. I hear a lot of people speak on the clear-cut footprints that the Prophet left. I don't see too many people actually stepping in those footprints. And you know, I myself, you just mentioned my homeschool with my family. You know, we even have a YouTube page. We haven't put any personal videos up yet, but if you find it, Hernandez L Family Homeschool, you can find that on YouTube, and you'll be able to see, you know, some of the lessons that we cover on a daily basis. One of the reasons why we do that, I used to homeschool years ago. My business got a little too busy, and I wasn't able to continue to run my business and homeschool simultaneously. What happened last year, I retired my wife from her job, and she got a chance to actually sit with the teachers and have the student teacher conference and parent teacher conference and all that kind of stuff, which is something I used to do a lot of the times. And she was able to really come to a quick conclusion that they were not qualified, and that she was finding inconsistencies among, you know, what the children were telling us and what the teachers were telling us. And then, you know, weren't really getting the results that we thought we should be getting, you know, from that. Being that, especially our children, where we live in Atlanta, we live near the best schools. So literally our children have attended the best schools in Georgia, but the actual academic programs are subpar, you know, from my position. And so, so now we're in full swing homeschool until we have our own Moorish school. And I think it's a very important thing because now we're able to gauge and engage our children on a daily basis and season their minds with the right information, and not have just people that we don't know, people who don't necessarily care about our children, teaching them and spending 8 hours a day with them and possibly giving them wrong information. There's been many times where, you know, my children would come home and explain some history that they learned that was just way off, you know, and then I had to reteach the lesson and have them go teach the teacher, you know. And so to avoid these types of pitfalls and these issues, we just took it upon ourselves as a family to go ahead, let's make this thing official And until we're able to form our own Moorish school, we just homeschooling for now. But in addition to, we at our temple here in Atlanta, we've only been, it's a brand new temple, and we've been meeting, I think today was our 7th week. We've already acquired 40 acres of land. And so, this was all inspired by the prophet and many of his teachings and words. And when he said, Moors, do you want your own town? You want your own sheriff? These are the types of things that I'm making sure that the things that we need to do physically to actually bring those prophecies to fruition, I'm doing my best, or at least on my end, to facilitate that. And I'm, in league with Brother Taharka here so that we can make that happen across the country.
Islam. So family, what I want to share with y'all, right? I'm going to screenshot this. And this is the theme of the show tonight. So if you're a Moorish American, if you're not, pay attention. If you are, pay attention. This is the theme of the show tonight. The theme of the show tonight is this. This comes out, if we say we follow the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we should be studying the Holy Quran in the Moorish Science Temple of America. This comes out of our Holy Quran. It's chapter I think it's 17. And the name of the chapter 17 is, but this is the theme. Listen to the words. Listen to the words. It says, Jesus appeared fully materialized before Apollo in the Silent Brotherhood in Greece, appears to Claudius, Juliet, to Tiber near Rome, appears to the priests of the Egyptian temple up at Heliopolis. So, at the end, Joshua, Jesus, Isa, of a certain segment of his mission, he makes this statement. You know that all my life was one great drama for the sons of men, a pattern for the sons of men. I live to show the possibilities of man. What I have done, all men can do. And what I am, all men shall be. And we're talking about man and woman is interchangeable. Let me say this to you. What we're referring to here is what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and I'm using this in context of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. What the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did, that's what we must do. All that other stuff right now is extra. That's what we must do. So what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did, that's what we must do. And I'm going to read it one more time. You know that all my life, and I say this in the temple, I'm not talking about no Jesus of 2,000 years ago. So I say it to my people. You know Prophet Noble Drew Ali's life was a great drama for the sons of men. Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a pattern for the sons of men. And that's men and women interchangeable. Prophet Noble Drew Ali lived to show the possibilities of man. Don't get spooked out because I'm about to show you something that's very practical. What Prophet Noble Drew Ali has done, all men can do. And what Prophet Noble Drew Ali is, all men shall be. I don't live in 2,000 years ago. Talking about right now. With that being said, I want y'all to follow me. What exactly did Prophet Noble Drew Ali do? One thing amongst many things he did, and I don't know, when I do these slides, I literally just pick them and drop them in. So let's start right here with the Moorish God. Why am I starting with the Moorish God? Because this article that was in the Moorish God and the date escapes me, but we can just say from 26 to 29. But this is an article in the Moorish God which gives the outline as to what Moors should be doing right now, not 20 years ago, although they was doing it. Let me, and I got it underlined. We, of the Moorish Science Temple of America, like countless other American citizens, know that we must live together here in America in harmony, friendship, and goodwill, whatever our race or creed may be. It is only from a purely religious standpoint, it seems at this time, that we differ from a large number of our fellow Americans. We believe in and foster the Muslim religion. We believe in the principles. We didn't say customs. We didn't say do all this old weird stuff thinking you in the Middle East. We believe in the principles of the teachings. I'm going to say it again. We believe in the principles of the teachings insofar as they can be adopted into American life. We feel that the Christian religion is all right for those who prefer it. In America, religious freedom is guaranteed, all under the Constitution. He's not talking about the Constitution bylaw, but the Constitution. Now, here we go. If we are interested in freeing ourselves and our children from our greatest plight, economic slavery. Stop, wait a minute. Prophet Noble Drew Ali is talking about freeing us. Our greatest plight is economic slavery. This is what the prophet says. Our greatest plight is economic slavery. So now the time is to ask all of these Google geniuses, all of these Facebook icons, all of these YouTube personalities, when are we going to start to deal with this economic slavery? Because that's our greatest plight. When are we going to start dealing with that? Anybody that know me, know for sure that I'm on top of this. So I'm not talking about me right now. I want you to begin to think. And somebody say it's not the language of the day. We have to think in 2050 language. USA law are different today. I'm not speaking of law today. I'm not talking about laws at all. This is not a law show today. This show today is the show that those who we look up to is going all the way to 12th grade and skipping grade school. Now, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, our greatest plight is economic slavery. I want y'all to stop for a minute. Think about all the people that y'all look up to. Shout out to my people that been hitting me out that's trying to get this business plan from me so they can invest. Shout out. Up in Texas. Think about all the leaders you've been under. Think about all your friends. All of this nice talk that you hear. When has the economic plan been laid down? When has the economic plan has been laid down? From your leader, from your friend? I got one for you. It's coming. A couple shows. It'll be right up here posted online. It'll be here. Got one for you. And like I said, I'm a year in on the front line of what we would call social media. I'm just 1 year in. 1 year. What about these 3 and 5 and 10-year people? Where's the economic plan? Where's the plan for the people? Ask yourself, all those that you look up to, all those that you admire, where is the bringing of the people together? Because that's what the prophet was talking about. Let's go to the next one. We're going to go to the next slide real quick. The next, I don't even know what the next slide is, but it all ties in to understanding what we are called to do. The next one is this. What is this about? I don't know, but let's read it. The steps by which Muslim became known were taught by our prophet. This is another article out of the Moorish Guide. were taught by our prophet Noble Drew Ali in 1925 in the Moorish Science Temple. We all love the prophet, who will do much for us and will do much for the divine Father. He made all of us understand the truth. He brought us out of darkness and gave us the light of salvation. Hold up. Those of us sheiks, hold up, I missed my place. Those of us sheiks whom he has taught are in turn teaching his divine science. It is through this divine science that we give back to our nation their free national name. This will let them know that they are not Negroes, colored, black, Negroes, black, no colored, but American citizens with a wonderful history. So I think I just pulled that out just to show the American citizen part. Anyway, I don't want to get that one yet. I'll go back to 5. Let's go to this one. What I want to show y'all here, and I've shown this before. What you see right here, you see reports of temples. All right? Now, what you see right here is 2 temples on this paper right here. You see temple number 5, and you see temple number 2. And I've used this one before, and I got another one in here handwritten. It was the minutes, handwritten, from the business manager, or the secretary. My apologies, the secretary. But if we look at this, back in 1927, this was 1927-28. And this, if I'm not mistaken, is the accounting of 2 temples. They have 19,458 in expenses and whatever, the total financial report. It's not my point. The point is, in today's money, that'll be $267,000. Stop this for a minute. That'll be $267,000. What are we doing? What are we doing? Who's organizing the people? Who's organizing the people so we can get this? This was in a short 3 years. Can we make $265,000 in the next 3 years? Or are we just going to keep following all of this nonsense? Smooth talkers, law talkers. Are we going to organize? Family, you might say, oh, he's promoting. I'm telling you, in the link under here, there should be a link to sign up to the virtual temple. It should be a link where you can sign up to the virtual temple if you want to organize and if you want to try to make that mark of over almost $250,000. That is $250,000 in 3 years. That's $250,000 in 3 years. I'm initiating this. There's a link. Sign up for the virtual temple. I'm initiating it. Ask your Grand Sheik before you sign up. No, for sure, I don't want your membership, because the virtual temple is not about taking people membership. It's about organizing with a practical person that can lead us into that $250,000 in the next 3 years. And in order to do that, we need to get away from these smooth talkers. We need to put our talents that Allah God has given us. We need to put them to use. I know you see your brother Tahaka Bay up here yelling and moving his arms and all that. Man, let me tell you something. This has been all about trying to inspire people so we can get to this level. Talking about the history, man, we got to do that on the off time in Sunday school. maybe on YouTube. But at the end of every conversation, we should be organizing for something that's going to happen in our immediate future. After every meeting, the prophet made a call for those who wish to join. After every meeting, the prophet made a call. And he told people, if you don't think that you are able, and I'm paraphrasing, if you don't think that you're able to live up to what it is to be a Moorish American Muslim, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, it's be best that you turn back now. It'd be best that you turn back now. See, we are entering in a time now, family. Sorry to point at you. We are entering into a time now that them smooth talkers going to have to sit on the sideline. I don't care how much you love and like them. I don't care how much you admire them. Because if you continue in this way, you will have nothing for your children as it relates to Moorish science. Sure, you can have all the riches as an individual. Sure, you can have all the nice things of this world as an individual, but what about as a nation? And we're not talking about any particular grand body. We're talking about, if I go to Philadelphia, I want to go to a Moorish neighborhood. If I go to where my brother's Williams Air at, I want to go to a block that is strictly Moorish. I want to take my Asiatic family that knows nothing about Moorish to Mecca, to Chicago, to experience Moorish in a completely Moorish block. And if your leader is not on that, they are in question. They are in question. If your leader is not on that, they are in question. Because the prophet was on that. See, this is more science tonight. Let me give people that's new to more science a little history. Prophet Noble Drew Ali was born in 1886 in the state of North Carolina. He endeavored to promote nationality, economic security, religious creed that would advance us. Or as they say when you go into the emergency room and you doing bad, we got to take the fast track. We got to go to the fast track. We got to take the fast way. Brother, let me say this. Tassan, listen to what you're saying. It's not like we didn't try to build. Our community got destroyed by design. Why? Who will protect the future generations? Brother, join the temple so we can organize, brother. That's all. We're not talking about yesterday. Those who are stuck in yesterday, this is not your show. We're not talking about yesterday. We build communities, but they destroyed. We're not talking about yesterday. We're not talking about yesterday. We're talking about now and tomorrow. We're talking about now and tomorrow. We're not talking about what the Moors didn't do yesterday. We're not talking about who blew up the community. We're not talking about who burnt it down. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did and how the prophet say, imitate I the prophet. And we can do the same thing today. If we stop trying to act like we so intellectually superior over one another and do some work. We create a business for ourselves. Last time you see a business created for the temple. We see, let me go to the next slide. Let me take you to the next slide. Let me take you to the next slide. Because I'm serious about this. I don't know. Y'all must think I be playing or something, man. I'm serious about this. I mean, I know what the Lord got in store for us. And I'm asking everybody to join me to get what's ours. Let's go to the next slide. Not that. Let's see what this one is. Okay. Here's the Moorish Manufacturing Corporation, but we're not going to read that right now. We're going to go right here. And I showed this the other day. This is where the Moors was at almost 100 years ago, 80 some years ago, 88 years ago. This is where they was at. Listen to this. The following letter is one of many received by the god, the Moorish god, relative to establishing a town owned and completely operated by those persons belonging to the Moorish Science Temple of America. Let's keep it 100. Let me stop for a minute. See what the chat doing, because I want to talk to y'all. Let's keep it 100. Who has put in an idea for a town completely ran, owned and operated by the Moorish Science Temple of America, regardless of what grand body? Okay, we say, okay, there's a Moorish colony. You haven't been there, so don't speak on it. I've been there, and I speak on that another time. You know what I'm saying? Toussaint, the only reason I'm looking at, we have to do this, I'm looking at this to do it today. I'm not looking at this to complain about yesterday. I'm looking at this to do it today. So when I say the Moors 88 years ago was talking about a town, I'm saying we should have been had a town, or we should be talking about it now. And the plan should be in place. And it's not only the Moors. It's those who have forward thinking, positive thinking. We can work together. I'm going to show you this. I think your name is Onawa Bang Group. Stay right there, brother. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Forward thinking people. Let me show you this. You say only the Moors? No, not only the Moors. Why do I say that? This is temple number 12. This is something that was written about temple number 12. And let me show you what jumps out to you. This meeting was opened at 7:30 p.m. by Grand Sheikh Bro Smith L. by reading the Constitution, after which a lesson for the evening from the Holy Quran, chapter 39. You probably said, what is he talking about? Something in the temple. Pay attention. After which the following program rendered. Opening address by Bro Adams Bay. After which a choir selection. Third, a solo by Sister Mammy Hester. Mammy Hester. Not Hester Bay. She was singing in the temple. Not Hester Bay. And there's not an error, because as you go down, you'll see Smith L. Mamie Hester was giving up a solo. Fourth, a select reading by Sister Mimi Bradley. That sister was reading something in the temple. The prophet was not. Let me stop yelling. The prophet was not a separatist from his own people. The sixth, a paper by Sister P. Smith L. Seventh, a short talk by Bro E. Coleman Bay. So it's not an error that you got people without L's in the temple participating. So why wouldn't you participate in the community? We need everybody to participate. We need everybody. You need to think your conditions can be better. If you think your conditions can be better, then you need to come on in. And whatever you're able to provide, provide. Whether you choose to follow the instructions or the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, wouldn't you like to go and visit a Moorish town founded by those who follow the first organization of Islam in America? Wouldn't you like to see Moorish children, whether you are Moorish American or not, thriving? A Moorish delicacy, food. Wouldn't you want to see that? Wouldn't you want to see, you go into a town, they got the Moorish barbershop, everything got Moorish on it. Just like when you go to a little Italy or Chinatown, wouldn't you want to see that? Whether you subscribe to more science or not, let me share a little more. We're gonna go in a little bit. Now, hold on. Before we go in, as I go through this presentation, I want you to ask yourself, those Google geniuses, those YouTube personalities, those temple leaders, those who you look up to, have they presented a plan? Have they presented a plan? The point of the matter is that we need a plan. This is not throwing a shot at anybody. This is just facts. We have incompetent leadership amongst our ranks. And I'm not talking about the temple. I'm talking about as a group of people. We have incompetent leadership as a group of people. That the people don't even have confidence when a true leader like Hopkins Bay stepped forward and asked for assistance. When a true leader like Fuquan Bay stepped forward, people have lost confidence due to the hypocrisy and due to all of those that want to intellectualize salvation and liberation. That's right. And my brother just said, organized with one mindset. That's why I put the virtual temple up there. It's not to try to get everybody to come in and wear a turban or fez. It's about to get everybody on the same page. That's what nationality is all about. Nationality is about gluing yourself to a common ideal. Connecting yourself to a common ideal. It's not about this fez, so to say. This is a custom. Our prophet teaches us, custom do not alter the nature of truth. The nature of truth. Custom cannot change that. This can't make me no Muslim. This can make me a Muslim just as much as this business card can. Muslims are born, not made. I can't put this on and be a Muslim. My brother told me the other day, I talked to him on the day before yesterday. He told me he can be what he want to be. I said, you cannot. You can call yourself what you want to call yourself. But to be, you must be. I'm going to say that again. You can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. But to be, you must truly be. Let's share a little bit more. So, family, let me see what other slides I got up here real quick. So, okay. So when we look at right here, when the prophet's birthday was celebrated, and I'm going back to talk about why we need to demonstrate these same things. I'm not going back crying. I'm going back to show that these things are first grade lessons which we have bypassed. Okay, let's look at the prophet birthday celebration. On the evening of January 8th, members of the Moorish Science Temple of America celebrate Prophet Noble Drew Ali's birthday with a grand Moorish costume ball in the main auditorium of Unity Hall, 3140 Indiana Avenue. The occasion was also celebrated by subordinate temples in their sections of the United States. The occasion was the first of its kind in America. Look how I put emphasis on it. And that all members participating wore native Moroccan costumes. Notice the word costumes. A number in native Moroccan costume. We're not talking about no Europeans. A number of prominent, here go my part here. A number of prominent members of the business and public life of Chicago joined in with the members. honoring the Moorish leader's birthday. Again, prominent members of both in business. What your leaders doing? What we doing? What we doing, family? What we doing? Prominent members in the business sector. In a short 3 years, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali in just one area has an accounting for what today would be $250,000. Now, in that accounting, some went out, some came in. That was just a financial report. But it's an accounting of $250,000 in today's money. Prominent businessmen was in the midst honoring the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Why? Why? As man, all these scholars that we see, where's the plan? You know, right here, honoring the Moorish leader's birthday. Governor, I think it says Governor Ben Small of Illinois. Congressman Oscar DePriest, Alderman Louis B. Anderson, Judge, he wasn't asking the judge for delegation of authority, Judge Joseph Burke, and many other of the country's most noted citizens wired congratulations to the leaders. Judge Joseph Burke, he wasn't asking Joseph Burke, do we have a delegation of authority? No, he wasn't interested in that. He was interested in this judge administering justice for his people that may find themselves in the judicial system. Y'all playing with more signs. People playing with more signs. It is what it is. People playing with more signs. They want to do a whole bunch of talk. You know what I mean? They want to do a whole bunch of talk. They want to do a whole bunch of talk and impress each other. It is what it is. You know, if they're not moving on this type of plan, it's a bunch of noise. You understand? You get a lot of talk. It is what it is. It's a lot of talk. Let me go to this next slide. Just like the sister just said, why you find a black flag and a Moorish flag? I just black flagged you. I just black flagged. You know what black flag is? Y'all know what black flag is? Y'all know that spray black flag? Hey, Tassan, I got what you're saying. But Tassan, what I'm saying is that's a different show. I'm not going into law on this show. What I'm going into is showing that the people that we look up to, the people that we follow, is not forging the things that the prophet forged, and they're not doing the things that the prophet did. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to expound on law. I'm not trying to adjudicate anything. I'm just saying that the way that the prophet moved, we must move. We must move. And any detractors, Moorish or otherwise, I'm getting them out my way. You know, we can definitely have law classes. We can definitely deal with the Constitution. We can definitely do that. But right now, we need builders. We've been talking about law for 20 years. A shout out to my brother, Taj Tariq for all the great work he did in introducing people to more science. A lot of people come to me that only know more science through Taj Tariq. Shout out for that. We need that brother. But more importantly, after he introduced them to his form of understanding, then my form of understanding must follow, that we must build something that your children can have for the next generation. Your children must be able to grow up and have that school that they went in, come back and teach in that same school, that Moorish school. We must start this. We must start this. What are we waiting on? Well, I got 27 people that signed up for the virtual temple. And when I come back from convention, we'll have our first meeting to outline what we're about. And those who wish to move forward will. And those who don't, won't. But guess what? I've also found prominent people in the business community that think our conditions can be better. I also found prominent people in the private sector that think our conditions can be better. And I ain't taking no check and selling nobody out. I don't get down like that. I make my own bread. However, we're going to take this to the next level. We're going to take this to the next level. We're going to take this to the next level. We're going to have a real town. We're going to have a block by next year. I say less than 6 months. I'm going to be living there. I'm going to rent my house out. I'm renting my house out. I'm gone. I'm going on the Moorish block. It is what it is. My brother Woods Hill, I know he's going to be able to come into the virtual temple and teach some business. I know that. And the virtual temple is not going to be, just because I'm going to be the grand sheik of the virtual temple, I'm bringing in sheiks from across the country. Some of the sharpest brothers. So we can fast track this thing to success. The Prophet did it in 3 years. In in October, the stopwatch starts. We're going to see what we can accomplish in 3 years. We're going to do a whole bunch of praying. We're going to do a whole bunch of working. We're going to a whole bunch of putting our thoughts together, putting our money together. If you don't want to put your money together, it ain't for you. If you don't want to put your energy and your thoughts together, it's not for you. It's best, as the prophet, in the words of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's best that you not even sign up. It's best that you not even sign up. But if you think your conditions can be better, that we should have a town, that we should have a school, that we should have a grocery store, that we should have. Let me read this again, man. I want to go back to that post where the Moors was talking about this town. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I want to go back to that real quick, where the Moors was talking about that. All right, there we go. I think it's right here. Okay. And I'm only reading this to show that if your leader is not doing this, he's need to get on it. He need to get on it ASAP. You need to come up with a plan to build the Moorish community, to build the Moorish block, to build the Moorish something, besides taking dues, besides talking slick online. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And so this is what the Prophet says. I mean, this is what the Moorish guy said. Hold one moment. Let me bring it up real quick. Let me find this. This is what the Moorish guy says. It says, the following letter is one of many received, one of many received, one of many received by the guide relative to the establishment of a town owned and operated completely by those persons belonging to the Moorish Science Temple of America. Not somebody calling himself a Moor, not somebody saying that they are Moor, Mer, and all that, belonging to the Moorish Science Temple of America. July 29, 1929, Islam, in response to your question as concerning the Moors having a town, homes, etc., we will say all honor to the Prophet, who is going to give us something of our own, and we are going to do all in our power to help build the Moorish Science Temple of America so we can have something of our own. Again, all of those crying about the Moorish Science Temple of America, these Moors was talking about, we are going to build the Moorish Science Temple of America. We are going to build the Moorish Science Temple of America. They wasn't crying. Oh, it's been infiltrated. Of course. Now you get in and get it out. Now you get in and de-infiltrate it. Keep crying for it. Keep crying for it. Moors are men, upright, independent, and fearless. Moors are women, upright, independent, and fearless. Crying for it. We don't need them types. These brothers and sisters was talking about building. We will build the Moorish Science Temple of America so we can have something of our own. We need to build our neighborhood, our block. And when I say our block, I'm not talking about a so-called black block. The neighborhood you live in that's ran down. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a neighborhood that's consistent with what the Moors was talking about, what the Prophet Obadiah Ali was talking about. I'm talking about that. What you talking about? I'm not talking about the neighborhood you live around there. European Joe live up the street. Hillbilly Jack live around the corner. You know what I mean? Susie Asiatic live a few doors down. Ratchet Kamisha live right down. I'm not talking about that. Nah. I'm not talking about that. So the thing is this. Either we going to do it or we not. I got like minds. I got like minds that think we can do it. I know we can do it. And I'm going to initiate it. The sister Williams L. She said, let's do it. I haven't purchased a house yet because this is exactly what I was waiting on. Well, I'm going to tell you what, sister. Whether it's in Baltimore or we can inspire somebody in your town, it should be happening every city in the United States. But if you're welcome to migrate to Baltimore, you're welcome. We got a few people migrating to Baltimore. We have a few people migrating to Baltimore to make this happen. Let me finish this last line of this. Let me see what else we got here real quick, before I let my brother Gabriel Hernandez chime in. So let me see what else we got here. Okay, this is from the Supreme Business Manager. I don't even know what it is, but I took it out for something. Now let's see what I took it out for. Okay, fellow Moors, I'm taking this opportunity to thank those who have answered our advertisement relative to the Moors having their own town. Okay, aldermen, police, judges, etc. Now let me check this out. Check this out. When people see that, people would like to think that we are going to take and superimpose something unlawful. Prophet was a law man. As the brother Tassan talk about law, he was a law man. It's a way all that is possible. But you won't know. You won't know if you haven't been amongst Moors. This is something right here that I'll be sharing. And I'll let people get this. The prophet talks about the plan of the ages. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of this stuff in PDF on the Virtual Temple on Facebook. I'll be sharing a lot of information. But this is information talking about the plan of the ages, and it shows how to bring this thing into effect. One way that we are going to bring it in effect is this way. We are going to, and I'm going to let my brother come in real quick, we are going to implement this right here. Hold on one second. Those who join with me, we are going to implement this immediately. And I'm going to give you, matter of fact, I'll wait. Let my brother Gabriel Hernandez talk about the land which he acquired. Him and his temple have acquired thus far. Gabriel Hernandez, are you there, my brother?
Islam, can you hear me?
Yeah, the floor is yours, my brother. Talk to the people. Let the people know what you have done since you and I have been corresponding, since you and I have been talking about these plans. I know you've been planning this long before me, but praise be to Allah that is coming into fruition while me and you are on the same team. I'm taking some credit. Now I'm playing wrong.
True indeed. In fact, yes, this is something that, has been in the planning stages for quite some time. I've actually moved forward before on a 5-acre plot, about an hour outside of Atlanta. Some things happened and fell through. More recently, as we began to have and formulate a new temple here in Atlanta, we immediately went directly into what you're speaking on tonight. I did not want to start the temple and have everybody worried about making sure they're standing correctly and saying the right things and greeting each other extra proper. Like, we get into that, and a lot of the Moors in my temple are brand new to it, so we're taking our time with that. But at the same time, we decided to go full in on the real estate, on the business, the economic plan, all of those things that you've been speaking on tonight, and we've actually been enacting it and have moved forward. And like I said, this is our seventh class today, and we already acquired 40 acres. So I don't know if my screenshot is up.
Yes, sir.
But as you can see there, that's 40 acres in California. That is actual a picture of the land. From one perspective, it's 40 acres, so it's quite big. Yes, we do have some mountains on the land. We do have a lot of flat land, a couple hills. Also, as you can see, it's elevation. So, we're going to be doing a lot of meditation. We're going to be doing a lot of agriculture out here. We already have a brother, a member of our temple, who is an elder and been in the movement for probably 30 years. The brother, I won't say his name right now, but he actually has a solar power company. As you can see there in the top above the picture, this particular land does not have any wires connected to it. So it's literally off the grid. But we will be bringing some solar power there in the next few months, as well as drilling our well. And as you can see there, and that might be too much information, let me put that up. We do have mineral rights on this land. But this is just the beginning. This is our first 40-acre plot, and it won't be our last.
Brother, hold up, brother. Hold up, brother. Did they at least come with a mural with that? Now, as a corner
now, you know what? No, that's good because,
they give you a tractor.
Now, the reason why 40 acres is important, because this is self-administered reparations. I'm not, at this point, I'm not going to wait for reparation. I'm going to administer it myself.
There we go.
So this land is out here. It's for sale for anybody. So anybody who has enough fortitude to go and get it, it's there for you. And we're doing it as a team, and that's why we were able to acquire it so quickly. So a lot of these temples, a lot of leaders, so-called leaders, they're not moving together. I mean, I would love to be in league with all of the temples here in Atlanta, and we have a number of them. Had we all been collectively working, we could have gotten 4,000 acres, So, but this is just a small representation of what a brand new temple with roughly 10, 15 members can do. And mind you, uh, this particular property was purchased among 3 members. So what we did, we formed a investment club within our temple. We all put in a certain amount, and this is what we were able to do with that. In addition to that, we also have formed what is known as a farmers cooperative. So on this land, our farmers cooperative will be working underneath the umbrella of the Moorish Science Temple of America, uh, through and by way of our investment group that provided the funds to purchase the property. And we will be farming collectively and cooperatively, and supplying, restaurants, farmers markets, and other markets with fresh vegetation and even fish that we will be farming through aquaponic means.
Islam. Islam. So family, this is where we at. This is where we at. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even be rocking with this brother if we got in contact 6 months ago and he wasn't talking about progressive thought. And so that's the reason that I have separated myself from certain groups of people. Not because I dislike brothers, not because I have a problem with brothers, is that I'm trying to go into a direction that will leave a legacy for the next generation to carry on. I don't want to just talk about more science. I want to live more science. I want to be engulfed in everything that it is to be a Moorish American Muslim in this era of time. And that is and that will be consistent with nationhood, with taking care of yourself, providing for yourself, providing for your family. Then I'm not talking about a job. We're talking about independent, as my brother called it. He got his own reparations. Temple got their own reparations. Talking about some reparations that we're gonna bring forth ourselves. In order to bring a lot of this stuff together, y'all will be hearing about this more. This is called the Alliance for Political Accountability. That's the first introduction that we'll be talking about. The Alliance for Political Accountability is what we'll be working on from Atlanta to Baltimore, also to brothers in Vegas. I'm going to be teaching this. And what the Alliance for Political Accountability is basically utilizing the block vote as it was taught by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You may have heard a similar organization, or rather system, called Operation Proclamation, which I think that's a pretty good template designed by Brother Sharif Anil Bey, by basically dissecting the lessons of the Prophet. And when he dissected the lessons of the Prophet, he came up with Operation Proclamation. Well, the Alliance for Political, why my phone is ringing like this? I can't answer, brother. Let's do Messenger. The Alliance for Political Accountability is we're going to organize where we show the regular everyday people that they must be accountable for their political strength. Because being accountable for your political power will give you access to the finance. So not only will we organize with brothers and sisters to go door to door to hold the regular everyday person accountable, whether they participate in voting one of us in or participate in voting one of them out. Participating, going down City Hall, saying that we here and we ain't taking it no more. But that's not the only fight. We're going to be building. But in the process of building, we're going to hold the politicians accountable. We have to understand that the Prophet engaged the politicians, and there was a reason. There was a reason he engaged the politicians. There was a reason Oscar the priest was sitting beside the prophet. There was a reason. And so we must do the same. And so this wing, if you will, of the Moorish Science Temple of America, virtual temple, will be the Alliance for Political Accountability. We must become accountable politically. Again, I don't care if the person buying the blunt, they buying a blunt, they buying liquor, they paying taxes. We need to extract our money back. We need to get our money back. How do we get our money back? Well, we got to go and sit down and say, listen, we got 3,000 votes. It only takes 1,000 to get this person in. Our 3,000 votes is going behind this Moorish American. That Moorish American go in, whether you are Moorish proclaimed or Moorish and don't know. You get behind that one, you put him in, he go get the money. We don't have to wait to the public school because we haven't built our own yet. We don't have to cry that the public school is scorching hot with no air condition. Why? Because such and such Bay or such and such L will be extracting the money in our behalf. That blunt, that little juju was smoking and paid tax. That black and mild that he was smoking. That gas that he put up in that dually truck. And taxes. And I'm just jumping around a little bit, but our people are buying into a system and not extracting anything out because we are politically ignorant. We have to wake up, and that's not the only fight. You see, people talk about the right to travel. If we move right, we can create a department for that. We can literally create a department for that and present it to the legislator. People talk about Department of Vital Statistics for Moorish Science Temple of America, where you can proclaim your nationality and go and put the title El Bay on your name. We can actually have that become a reality if we have the proper unity and introduce that into the legislation. It's called switch and bait. Bait and switch. So family, it's time to move like the prophet moved. Don't get caught up on this slick talk. If you get caught up on that slick talk, you might as well listen to some Future. We've been talking slick talk, slick talk. Yeah, y'all know about Future. Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. Yeah, I like old Future. Yeah. But that's about the best it's going to get. They talk about Moorish signs. They talk about the history of the Moors. Man, that's good. That's fine. But after that, can we get some organization going? Can we get some planning going? Can we get some benchmarks going? Can we ask what has been accomplished in 3 months? What has been accomplished in 6 months? How much profits we got from this one? What you doing over there? All right, won't you try this way because that ain't working? Can we make some progress? Again, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and I'm going to share this with you one more time. For those who didn't see it, I'm going to share it one more time. Right here, there is an accounting. In 1927, 28, but I would say 1927, 28, there's an accounting on the bottom of here, whether it be expenses or whatever. It's $19,458 in 1928. That would be in today's money. Hold up. In today's money, that would be $267,000. $250,000. And that wasn't even a full financial report. Let me show you. This was just Pittsburgh Temple, Temple number 5, and Temple number 4, if I'm not mistaken. That wasn't even a full. There was 13 other temples. 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 over $250,000 in a course of 3 years. So you have to know the history of Moorish science to understand why I say in the course of 3 years. In the course of 3 years, family. So at the end of the day, we got to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe, letting people talk slick to us, letting people convince us that knowledge is the key without economic stability. Better have knowledge of economics. Better have knowledge of political action. We got to take political action and stop playing. You know, and so family, I will repeat that I don't want to keep you long, but I will repeat that at the bottom of this page, if you are interested, you can join me. I will not be starting until October, probably mid-October, around the 15th or something. When the original, I may start around where the original convention was held in October. But if you go below here, there's a link that you can hit. And nobody is asking anybody to join. If you have interest, sign up. If you have interest to want to know what I'm talking about, sign up for the initial conference that we're going to have. That's it. Sign up for the initial conference that we're going to have. Whether you more proclaim or more and don't know it, sign up for the initial conference. We're going to have it together. We're going to put it together and show you the framework where we're going with this thing. The town, the political, the economic piece. 3 things we're going to be addressing. Living amongst one another. Political alliance for political accountability. Economics. Total economics. If you're interested, hit the link at the bottom. You'll see Virtual Temple link at the bottom of the page. If you come to the first meeting and it's not for you, it's okay. It's not for you. But if it is for you, remember, this is not going to be a quick hit and miss. No, we're going to see this through. We're going to have benchmarks. We're going to have all sorts of we want people to introduce what they have to bring to the table so they can do it in their town. We're going to take it to the next level. We're not going to go through it. Now I'm going to still do some shows. I'm going to continue to do some shows. Like we got a show coming up next week. We're going to have my brother Hernandez on here, and we're going to talk about the flat earth third. We got a guy that says he would go against anybody and prove that the earth is flat. So my brother Hernandez stepping up to the plate. Hernandez said, I'm going to prove that it's round. But even after that conversation, we're going to move forward into promoting the togetherness or the uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America as it relates to thought, practice, and principle with this virtual temple and the virtual idea. Brother Hernandez, are you there, my brother?
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
Islam.
Islam.
So let me say this while we got people in the chat again. And then I'll let you have the floor. So family, I've mentioned earlier, if you wasn't here, that I am no longer affiliated or associated with the group Ali's Men. So a lot of people have been inquiring, wondering when they would be on the channel. They actually have their own channel called Ali's Men. I think it's Ali's Men 777. I don't know their programming. I guess you could go and check Ali's Men group if you're a part of that. I'm no longer a part of that. So if anybody's truly concerned, don't be. I'm just moving on building. I'm really not into anything other than building on what the prophet built. And what I mean what the prophet built, the prophet had boots on the ground, mortar to the brick. That's all I'm interested in. That's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested in any fraternal type of thing that is not consistent with the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm only interested in the Moorish Science Temple of America, those who wish to be a part of the prophet's program and building something. That's my total focus. That's my total obligation. It's to the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali as it relates to the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's it. As I read in some of the presentation that the writer said that we are going to work hard to build this Moorish Science Temple of America. I have not the energy for anything else. I want to teach people that the Moorish Science Temple of America is not a cult. That the Moorish Science Temple of America is a place that will take you to the next level. And that the prophet was building on the Moorish Science Temple of America as a religious institution and a society, Moorish National Divine Movement, as a way of life. As a way of life. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and when people say that they are a part of the Moorish National Divine Movement, let me share this with you. Pull this down real quick. I gotta pull it down anyway. When people say that they are a part of the Moorish National and Divine Movement, most people don't even know what it is. And I'm gonna share this with you. When you become a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America,
All right, love you guys.
you become a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. But when you become a brother or sister who has become an adept within the Moorish Science Temple of America, a sheikh, divine minister, you are given this. Everyone is given this. I don't care what grand body you are in. Everyone is given this. And notice on this, this doesn't say an adept of the Moorish Science Temple of America. To be a part of the Moorish National Divine Movement, you have to come to the Moorish Science Temple of America. It was like that during the Prophet's time, and it's like that now. This says an adept of the Moorish Science. This says an adept of Moorish America Divine National, not Divine and National Movement of North America. So anybody who says that, I say come and join. Come and join and let's build. Stop crying about yesterday. Stop crying about yesterday. And let's build today into tomorrow. I'm not with the talking head. I'm gonna be on YouTube. I'm gonna still be swelling my arms. I'm gonna still be talking some stuff. But like I say, if you are a part of the Moorish National and Divine Movement, it is what it is. It is what it is. And that is not to criticize anybody. I'm just into a new era of time now. I'm into a new era of time now. I'm into the building process. I'm into the building process in such a way that foolishness makes me want to cuss people out. I don't even want to hear foolishness. I said makes me want to. I don't even want to hear foolishness. I wanna know what you're gonna bring to the table so we can work it. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So those who say they are part of the Moorish National Divine Movement, I invite you to sign up. Those who have beef with Brother Tahaka Bay, but you got something to bring to the table, I invite you to sign up. See, at the end of the day, whether I do the model here in Baltimore and it's duplicated in Atlanta, or the model is done in Atlanta and it's duplicated in Las Vegas, or it's duplicated in California, we must come together to create the model. Prophet created the model. The prophet created the model. And the model that the prophet created, I just gave you a little bits and pieces of the slides of what the prophet created. And we must be consistent to be successful. Y'all want to know why no more Science Temple of America has been successful there since the time of the prophet, and those that calling themselves Moors haven't been successful, including me, because we haven't been following the prophet blueprint. So all that other stuff goes to the wayside. And I'm not trying to be a religious zealot, because when I leave out here and I go get me something to eat in a few minutes, I'm jumping in. Hey, man, let me tell y'all, my charger is running, looking good. I put some, I guess it's another conversation, because y'all probably think I'm a religious zealot now, but I got to break it down to y'all. My charger is looking good. The 23s were shined up. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Just Us. I'm going to bring him on the show to give a presentation about cars. He gave me information to fix my car. Man, I'm going to tell you something. I got a kicker about that big. Hold on. We're going to get back to the show, Prophet. Know each other. I'm talking to pictures. We're going to get back to the show. We get back. I got a kicker about that big. And man, that kicker up in there, good goodness of gracious. Guess what it was playing today? Guess what it was playing? I was riding through the hood like that.
These guys, man.
Ho-teppin. That what it was playing. Man, that kick about that big. Tinted window, 22, 23. This is how I was rocking. Hey, look, hold on. I'm going to get back to the show. But look, this is how I was, right? Yeah, when I don't want y'all to think I'm a religious zealot, because I'm telling you, I love this journey. But this is how I was rocking, though, right? Look, I got real smooth with it, right? I was like,
come on, man. Oh, stand up.
Ho-teppin, but like your brain just fake. You keep screaming black power, but you ain't busting the grate. Silly steady be yelling, he do a whole lot of cussing. He be talking all loud, but ain't saying nothing. Tell you bang on the beat, but he don't bang in the street. Yeah, he bang on the mic and charge you for a seat. Let's peep what they say, and then peep how they roll. Shaka put on his makeup and get him out of his room.
Hey, that's how I was rocking today. Man, my car been out of commission for a minute, man. I had it at this shop. Man, they couldn't find it right, man. Hey, but anyway. I was balling out of control, man. For real. Man, I got a nice whip, man. I mean, Allah bless me, Mo. Allah bless me. Man, look. It ain't about materialism, man, but I got that car, man, to treat myself a few years ago, man. I like that old car, man. Man, I'm telling you, I was in the hood acting up, man. I was in the hood. I was at the stop. I was at the stop. Now, they was doing the money dance. I had that song on, the money dance. They were doing the money dance. Yes, sir, boy, man. I got that big engine up in there. Look, I got that. When you hit the gas, that thing go like that. I was at the light on Emerson Avenue. They were doing the money dance. Let me stop. I'm trying to tell you. And this is what I want to tell y'all, man. Sisters, brothers and sisters. Man, coming into the Moorish Science Temple of America, just because you see people dress up and play the part, man, be yourself. The Prophet Noble Ali encourages you to be yourself. That's why I'm goofy. I'm a little bit silly. I yell. I have fun. I get mad. I be ready to swing them hands. All type of stuff. I gotta be me. I gotta be me. I gotta be me. I can't, man, listen. Years ago, I had tried to be somebody else. Years ago, long time ago. Man, that put me in a whole bunch of foolishness. So I just said, I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna be me. They talking about I was stunting. Man, look, man. Hey, I do some armhole on them time. I got little skinnies. They 23s, right? Man, they fit that. Man, look, man. I'm gonna go lot, man. I'm gonna stop, man. Let me stop for people think I'm materialistic. I'm not materialistic. I just like the car. This is what it is. Praise the Lord that I come from within the past 10 years. I come from a bus to pretty good. 10 years ago, I was on a bus living in 10 years ago, I was on a bus living in a 1-bedroom apartment with my son sleeping on a futon. And I'll tell you that story later. I mean, dope boys on the corner, ready to bang out with bloods on the corner because they want to sit on my step while my son coming home from school. We can't get in the house. That's just 10 years ago. Yeah, on Jack Street, South Baltimore. You know, so I'm very grateful. So I enjoy I enjoy the things that I have been able to acquire by the way of being obedient to the word as taught by the prophet Obadiah Ali. All right, now let's go. Where my brother? Hernandez Hill.
I'm right
Hey
here,
there,
man.
my brother.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Well, Grandmaster Henry Poo Poo. Who that?
Puyi. I put that up because you said something early in the show. That's the grandmaster of my Kung Fu system. And, you know, he always said something that you were basically saying at the beginning of the show when you were speaking of, you know, brothers basically skipping grades and going straight to, you know, college without mastering the fundamentals. And he would always say something, and he still does to this day in reference to that. And he says, you must first learn the alphabet before you can spell Henry Puyi. Meaning,
I called him Poo Poo. Tell him I apologize.
nah, it's all good. But, you know, basically that's the same thing you said. You know, you have to master these fundamentals. Those things in the Moorish guide, that was basic. A lot of things that we don't as a people understand, that, you know, I think we're starting to, I guess, starting to understand, many of us are, but how important it is to start buying land, getting into farming, focusing on our health, those basic fundamental things. I liken it to this, and I teach it in my classes, like as if, you know, there's a game being played, you know, and our people generally don't even know that they're in the middle of a game. And that not only do they not know that they're in the game, but they don't have the rule book. They don't know the rules to the game. So while all the other cultures and different nationalities are mastering the rules to this game, we are steady falling behind. So what I'm doing here in Atlanta, which is what you're doing in Baltimore, is dealing with those basic fundamentals. All we've done for the last few weeks, we've been starting to get our people's credit straight, helping them start business, and then even start getting their business credit up as we are starting to acquire buildings in our neighborhood, in the hood here in Atlanta, in the West End. At the same time, we're also acquiring land around the country. So this is real simple, but basically, had it not been for the prophet's influence and him showing me these steps through his own works and words and deeds and actions, I would not have necessarily been able to pull this together the way I've been able to. And it's simply from doing what you said, just mastering these fundamentals. What's the most basic thing we need? I used to hear people always talk about food, clothing, and shelter. You know, we got to keep it real basic so that we can get those basics that we need, and then we can move forward. And I can't wait this week to start implementing the your civics program, because we're going full-fledged with that.
Exactly. And let me explain basically the civics program. We're going to do a whole show about it. with slides and everything. And people will be able to implement this across the country. You know, it's not hard, but we got to organize. You just can't go willy-nilly and do it. We got to say, okay, on Tuesday, we're going to hit this in the Bay Area. Okay, on Tuesday over here in Baltimore, we're going to hit that. When we return that Sunday or that Wednesday, we need to know what results. How was the people taken? How was the people taken to you? Did the people understand that they spend money regardless if they have a job or not? They spend it into a system? Do they understand that that's their money? Do they understand that? Do they understand that that same money can put their young boys that's standing on the corner through trade school if we have somebody that have access to the money?
That's right.
Do they understand that that same money that they spend in taxes throughout their neighborhood, whatever they're buying, can probably clean up their own neighborhood? It's their money.
That's right.
And so when we report back, we're not talking about willy-nilly. We're talking about real critical organizing, fine-tuning organizing.
Now check this out, right? So this is also a story that I tell often when I have these types of conversations. There's a sister here in Atlanta. Her name is Mabel Thomas, and she's been a state representative and as well as city council for years here in Atlanta. And she's one of our strongest advocates in the community. She's very familiar with the Moors, and many Moors support Mabel Thomas here in Atlanta. I went to sit down with her a couple years ago in her office in historic Vine City, right off of MLK, right there where the new dome is being built. And she began to explain to me what was going on in her particular district in Vine City. And what she told me was that the government was putting $3 billion into the community. And it was coming basically through her hands and to her other, city council board members. So they had control of this $3 billion coming into one of our neighborhoods. This is the same neighborhood where the AUC is presently and has been for almost 200 years. This is where the historically Black colleges and universities are in Atlanta: Morehouse, Spelman, Clark, and Morris Brown. So she mentioned to me, she said, there's $3 billion coming. She said, but I don't have anybody to give this money to. She said, all of my, the people that she works with, all European, and she said they were mostly men. She said, Jim and John and Bob, they all gonna reach out to their friends who have the construction companies. And those construction companies are gonna get multi-million-dollar contracts with the city and with her community to build that dome and to do all of the reconstruction that they're doing in Vine City here in Atlanta. $3 billion. And as you may well know, the dome just was finished maybe a couple of weeks ago, if not a week and a half ago. Like, they just finished it. So this has been an ongoing 3-year project. They put all of those billions of dollars into the community. Matter of fact, you came to visit maybe 2 months ago, right? You came down to the Juneteenth. And during the Juneteenth, that was the same area. That's Vine City we were at. And you saw how they had all those rows of houses all boarded up. Nice buildings that was just surrounded by gates, just not being used. This is all stuff that Morris Brown had to try to sell and auction off because they basically went bankrupt. But the school is still functional. But I said all that to say is that even though that much money has come into the community, we only had one person there who actually had our back. And that being said, all of the money that came in went right out of the neighborhood. It went right into the Europeans' pockets. All of the ones that own those construction companies, they got all those contracts.
And for Moors to claim superior knowledge and superior understanding, it surprises me that we don't step up to the plate and try to grab on some of that. I'm talking about think big. I'm thinking big now. I'm done thinking small. I'm done.
Right. We got to think big. In this country, we get The government provides over $500 billion in government contracts every year. 23% of that, roughly $120 billion, is earmarked for so-called minorities. So that means there's over $120 billion every year just in government contracts that we are not even touching.
And why don't we sit down and teach one of these sisters or one of these brothers how to write proposals or whatever we need to be done professionally down to the, I'm talking about to a master degree level.
That's
so we
right.
can get all this stuff back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, I mean, I got access to a sister. I actually, the real estate company that I worked for the last year, you know, I was their marketing director in IT. I basically brought them a sister who I ran across through this network that I build with. It's a Moorish, organization. They meet early in the morning. It's a mastermind group, mastermind forum. And that's all they focus on. And this sister gets paid just to do that. So for a few $100s, she'll basically come in. If you already have a company, like for instance, your business would be perfect for what she does. She'll take your company, do the rest of the paperwork that needs to be done, make sure you meet all of the qualifications and standards to get the contracts with the government. And once it's done, all you got to do is submit. You submit. If you get the contract, you get it. If not, you submit for the next one. But at least once you get the paperwork done, you're already ready to go. So it's just you got to meet certain qualifications. But yeah, we can do that. Whenever you're ready, holler at me. We'll formulate that.
And that's how we have to move. No longer. After we come back from convention, it's game time. Right. It's game time. After we come back from the convention, I'm telling you, it's game time. It is what it is. And shout out to brother Supreme Grand Sheik, brother D. Bailey. That brother got my back, man. That brother got my back, man. I tell this brother some of these plans. He said, "That's what we need, brother." Y'all heard about it. That's what we need. We need to get finances. We need finances. Salute to D. Bailey. That brother, almost 80 years old, I think, or 80, and that brother's still on the front line, man. And he's depending on some younger, stronger Moors to do the work that he wants done, but do it in a more faster pace that he could possibly do it today. So, and we need to take it to the next level. It is what it is. It is what it is. But family, I appreciate you. Any closing words, brother Gabriel Hernandez? I appreciate you coming in.
Indeed. I'm gonna end with this. You also made another good point about benchmarks. So if there's any other temples out there that's listening and ear hustling a little bit, trying to get some ideas, best thing to do, what we're doing is we're setting 90 and 120 day benchmarks, as well as our weekly goals and our monthly goals. But every 90 to 120 days, we're copping a new property, period. So by the end of this year, we'll have at least 5 properties, including the 40 acres in California and whatever other acreage we happen to get our hands on. And those who are interested in doing this with us, reach out to Brother Taharka, because we're putting this together all across the country. So if you're interested, you want to get your piece and be a part of this uplifting act, then like I said, contact Brother Taharka and we'll assist you in making that happen. Islam.
And like I said, we're gonna organize in the words of my brother Zion Lex, meticulously, because we're going to be meticulous. We're going to make sure that we do exactly how the prophet did. We ain't going for the talk game. We ain't going for the elaborate speeches. That's good, and they have their place. They have their place. But if somebody's been talking for 15 or 20 years and they haven't come up with this plan yet that the prophet already laid out, you might want to reconsider who you're dealing with. And the name of this is Infiltrators Misleading the Masses. If they've been around for over 20 years and they haven't thought about a town or business connected to temples and doing something as a collective in the community to further the prosperity of the Moorish science Temple of America, they might be infiltrators misleading the masses. If they haven't in 20 years, 15, 10 years, have been on the forefront, I'm not talking about those in a temple, you get a pass. Because some people just like to go to the temple and praise Allah. It's a place for that. I'm talking about those who have been in an active role for over 20 years on the highways and byways, for over 10 years in front of a camera, been producing books, producing material, but they didn't come up with a plan for Moors to live together, to eat together, to learn together with brick and mortar. They might be infiltrators misleading the masses. It is what it is. So you need to meticulously consider who your internet scholar or your Google leader, your YouTube leader or scholar, because the profit plan is plain and simple. We build on the ground. We build on the ground. Then we can get into those intellectual things. Not saying leave them out. But we have talked too long. We have talked way too long. Way too long. It's time to move. If anybody want to get the song Ho-teppin and support the movement, the moves I'm trying to make, the link is at the bottom of this page. You can get it on iTunes, you can get it on Spotify, you can get Peace of Love, you can get all that. Matter of fact, we're going to take it out like this. Let's get Peace of Love, man. I want to be y'all friend, man. Again, family, any inquiries about my departure from Ali's Men, I'm letting y'all know now. It's not a big deal. I am just moving in total unison, which I believe the Prophet moved in, and that's Moorish Science Temple of America first. Building, learning, teaching, uplifting, and some order like that. I have no time for other organizations that's not consistent with the temple first. Temple first and foremost. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a temple Moor. Say, imitate me. Be a temple Moor. Till I die. Oh, man don't die. He passed forward. That's what they used to say back in the day. Yeah, that's what they used to say back in the day. Man don't die. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. I'm not affiliating myself with any other organization that is not consistent with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's Moorish Science Temple of America. And when I say that, that could be any grand body. I'm not saying any particular grand body. Those who come under the brand of Moorish Science Temple of America is what I'm referring to. I don't care if you're in California, Moorish Science Temple of America, post 4568. I don't care if you're Moorish Science Temple of America over there underneath the bridge over Hackensack, Mississippi. Isn't that Hackensack, Mississippi? Y'all get my point. You know what I mean? As long as we trying our best to move in the direction of the Moorish Science Temple of America, I say let's work together and let's do it the way that the Prophet did it. It is what it is. I don't want to do it any other way. I don't have enough time, nor do I have enough energy to do it any other way.
Islam.
It is what it is.
Trying to be your friend.
I don't have it. So it is what it is. So if y'all want to go talk, there's other networks, there's other channels. If y'all,
I wanna be your friend.
you know what I mean, there's other channels, there's other platforms. We still gonna have dynamic teachers coming up soon. But at the end of the day, I want to motivate people to take the Moorish Science Temple to the level where the Prophet took it and beyond. The prophet did it in 3 years. I said we're going to start the clock in October and we're going to move. Shout out to my brother in North Dakota. Shout out to my brother in Vegas. And let's keep it moving. Love y'all. Peace. It is what it is.
Freedom till I return to a law. One day we gon' meet 'em. I'm all about justice. That's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail. Another calling us Neanderthal. And he all playing. I mean, for real, this is what it comes to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we can get scholarly, but we can get gutter. We are the children of our father and the rest of our mother has nursed us all. And first of all, we people want to be trying to murder us all. You need to chill, my brother, and tell the elders the same. Cause on the real, my man, I'm really about them things. I can take the feds off and get back in the low. And return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. What love, not war. Standing on that floor, then I'm holding the square. The compass and the axe, that might be too deep. Yo, let's not get off track. See, our prophet was an addict. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian addict. It's a brother who lived by the universal science developed in the now. We call it Islam, but it's the same, my child. So that's the foot of a master. I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you. And those that's talking that this ain't Islam. Everything the prophet book is in the Quran. All that other stuff, prostrate and cover up is just the start. And you're supposed to need the laws of heart. You can dress like a temple, you can dress like a herb. By the Moorish American Muslim unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. Dope, but he gave you different variations of the same thought. You don't appreciate that. You won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine true godly. He never to admit it. He the first that ever did it. Europeans hope that the Moors will forget it, but we're here, strong, alive and well.